Gales from Miles here. It's your boy E-Train, El Guapo. Post-fight review to Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter. Great fight. Very entertaining fight. Um, I agree with the judges on their scorecards. It's about what I had it. I did predict Keith Thurman to win. He didn't win by stoppage by the 10th round like I predicted, but my initial thoughts is that he landed more cleaner, more effective punches. There were times in the round where various rounds where he buckled Shawn, and to Shawn's credit, he stayed on his feet, and neither fighter went down. And there were times both fighters appeared hurt to me, and in the middle rounds, in particular, Thurman, he really needs to work on that body, and if he has to do some medicine ball work or tighten up that core, that Achilles heel that we saw, from the Collazo fight is starting to creep. It's starting to be more and more, present in each and every fight now. It's being exposed more or less. I didn't like the fact that Brooklyn was born. It's crazy that fans just don't appreciate good boxing and the sweet science. There was times Thurman stayed in the phone booth. There's times he did outbox a little bit more. There was times where he was actually walking Shawn Porter down, and I don't like the fact that Shawn said that he was running. If he is quote unquote running, it's your job to stop him. Point blank. Period. You know what time it is. You are very familiar with the style and what he can do. I think that there's a lot of calls for Shawn to get a new trainer, and the relationship, and the bond, and here you have Kenny who raised this kid and saw him become the man that he's become. You just don't throw that away. But if it were me and my call, I would definitely add another voice to the mix as maybe like a assistant trainer in the background. Any of the top guys, just to get a different point of view and try to work on some different things, because Shawn could beat a lot of these top welterweights, but in the 147 division, but he's not going to beat them being one dimensional. And Kieth is a full-fledged welterweight. Kell Brook is a full-fledged welterweight. There's whispers that, he might consider moving up to 154. I see that down, within the next, about a year from now, I see that happening. Just in time to possibly avoid that Earl Spence match. But anyway, Porter, he's just too one-dimensional right now. And the jab is really just out there. He's trying to get in on the inside and smother and do all that type of stuff by any means necessary. You got to feint a little bit more. You got to box from the outside here and there. You got to get that jab out there. And speaking on jabs, the times Thurman was backing up Porter, he should have kept that jab out there. I was a little disappointed that I didn't see more jabs from one time, and that's something that when he reviews the tape, he's gonna, you damn, missed opportunity. And I think that while there was on Thurman's side some deposits to the body, there wasn't nearly enough. You can't go headhunting and expect to slow a guy down unless it's just one of those well-timed perfect shots, the side of the park. And, So the division, it gets interesting. I would like to see. I would like to see. Um, a lot of this confusion cleared up and unification bouts. You got Danny Swift out there with the green WBC belt. You got Brooke, and you got Vargas possibly if they can get those pounds together and get the monies right. Um, I think Vargas deserves everything he's got coming to him. He's going in this man's backyard, and he has to be compensated for that. He is a champion. He also had better pay-per-views than Brooke has had recently. So you take that all into consideration. You know, you either want the fight or not. Too many excuses, and you know, back to the drawing board for Porter, but he fought well tonight, and it just wasn't quite good enough. And if he, could have got a knockdown somehow, some way in there, or mix it up a bit more, things may have been different. 147 division has always been the money division, and it's time to shake things up and see who can come and become undisputed potentially and number one. Who's really, really the top dog? That's all I got. KOs for Miles. E-Train. I'm out.